for 2016. Manawatu playing with the breeze behind them, and also kicking off, it's Tyler McNeil who starts playing, kicks deep down in towards the 22. The ball bounces up and is fielded by Wellington. It's Sam Fox who is the first 5'8", who tries to kick for touch but fails on his first attempt, kicks the ball up towards the halfway where McNeil fields the ball and spots a great gap, speeds down the right hand side towards the 22, puts the ball to boot. Now there's a chase on for the ball, carried back into in goal, and I think it was Lossie Filippo for Wellington who was forced to grab the ball, and a very good start for Manawatu. They've earned themselves a 5 metre scrum, 5 metres out from the goal line, about 10 metres in from the far side touchline, but very good vision by McNeil coming off a poor kick, a poor clearing kick from Sam Fox from the Poniki club. He'll be disappointed with his first touch of the ball, and a great attacking opportunity now for Manawatu as we start to get into the first of the 35-minute halves that are played at this level of rugby in New Zealand, at the national championship level. The Central Region Shield, of course, is on the line today. The defending champions are Wellington. They came off second best in terms of points differential in the round robin to this competition, so they're forced to play away from home, obviously in Palmerston North. So it's number 9, Matt Hathaway from Massey University, who's going to feed the first scrum. It's going to be interesting to see how these packs perform. And it's a big shunt from Wellington, but it's still good ball for Manawatu. Out it comes to McNeil. In on the cut comes number 14, I think it was, Worthmuller from Old Boys Maris. The ball taken up towards the posts by the young Turbos. Comes out now for Hathaway. He gives it out to one of the sporting players up towards the 5 metre line. They go to Manawatu. Very good start. Now's an opportunity for Ueta Tufunga, the captain, to go to the line. He hands off. They're now only a metre out and just bundled into touch 1 metre from the line. Manawatu and Wellington forced in the first few minutes of this match to defend with all their might, and certainly Manawatu of playing at home here at Arena Manawatu are going to want to make a statement early on, and certainly with the benefit of the wind behind them as well, they'll want to get points on the board. In fact, the penalty's been conceded, it looks like, by Wellington. I'm not sure what the offence was, but a penalty kick is now going to be attempted, and it looks like it's the number 15, Arjun Singh, who's the kicker for goal this afternoon. We saw McNeil earlier restart play, so he's obviously got those kicks, but for goal, Singh is the man for Manawatu. He's taken the ball back to just outside the 22 metre line, 14 metres inside the stadium touchline, and he'll have to push the ball up towards the right hand upright so that the breeze will bring it back around, one suspects, but he'll know this ground a lot better than me, obviously. But looking at the players on the ground, there is certainly a good tailwind behind this kick for Arjun Singh from Massey University. He steps back, the right footer puts the ball up towards the posts, and it bounces off the upright. It's fielded there by Willie Vinay, the right winger for Wellington, and he touches the ball down. So the first attempt to get points on the board is not successful for Manawatu, but they won't be too concerned. They've had all the territory in the first few minutes of the match. Fox restarts play, puts the ball up high towards the 10 metre line. Number 12, Cameron Blackfield's for Manawatu. He's taken in the tackle though, but the ball comes back for Manawatu, and now they go down the short side. One of the tight forwards, it was number 3, Sam Tufunga, who had the ball. He passes back now, the ball comes back out to McNeil, who takes the straight line up towards the 22. He tries to go. The left winger, Harris Williams, comes into play halfback, still with the ball at Manawatu, and Wellington defending well on the counter ruck, but a great break in midfield. The pass was just a little bit too high for the receiving player for Manawatu, but now they're still going down the right hand side. Number 6, I think it was, Massimo Kirikiri, carries up towards the 22 metre line. Good attacking play. Hathaway again brings it out to McNeil, puts it into the midfield, and Manawatu again make a surge up towards the 22 metre line. It's Wellington's defence that is holding well though at the moment, and the options are limited for McNeil as he weighs up what he can do. He's taken in the tackle of 3 Wellington players, and so the ball comes to the ground 25 metres out from Wellington goal line. Hathaway recycles. It's an untidy pass, finds its way into the midfield. We're waiting for it. It's Jeremy Dobson. He's pushed towards the try line, towards the touch line I should say, and he is pushed into touch 23 metres out. So after a period of good attack by Manawatu, it's Wellington who are showing some good steel on defence, and both sides haven't conceded many points in the round robin of this competition. Earlier on, We saw Manawatu defeating Hawke's Bay by 56 points to 7. Wellington defeated Hawke's Bay by 38 to 3, so they both got very good defensive records. But a good rolling ball comes from Wellington now off the line out, and they surge up towards the 10-metre line. This is a facet of the play that they're going to work a lot at through the first 35 minutes, one suspects, as they play into the wind, and Manawatu struggling just to stop the flow of the ball and now concede a penalty advantage. The ball comes out to Fox. Fox finds Malolo. Malolo struggles up towards the halfway line before being taken in the tackle, and the penalty is awarded to Wellington. Not rolling away, the tackler for Manawatu, says referee Tippity Cottrell. And so the penalty is awarded to Wellington 55 metres out from the Manawatu goal line. It's too far to kick into this breeze. And so Fox will now just try and get as much territory as he can, and he bangs the ball up towards the stadium touchline. Finds touch quite successfully and manages to carve off a good 20 metres or so. The line out is going to form 12 metres inside Manawatu territory. And it's Ben Power now who's going to have his first throw of the afternoon for Wellington. The ball goes off high in the line-out, but it's knocked on by Manawatu in the line. And so it was untidy for Wellington, and so referee Cottrell calls everybody back for a scrum. It'll be Wellington ball. So we've had one scrum so far this afternoon down towards the Wellington goal line, and they demonstrated that they've got a fair bit of bulk and didn't backpedal Manawatu, but did enough to be able to make the ball contestable. Now, of course, it's going to be Manawatu's opportunity to see if they can put the wood on the Wellington scrum early in the match. Kamara Hawiti Parapara, he's played in the Jubilee Cup final for the Tawa Rugby Football Club in 2016, and some listeners might recall Tawa won that match. So he certainly knows about high-intensity rugby. He knows about the pressure. He knows what it takes to grind out the victories when they're needed. And this is the big game for the under-19s in the region. The result will determine who is the top seed for the Jock Hobbs National Under-19 tournament. Hawiti Parapara puts the ball in advantage, called by Cottrell down the right wing side. Goes Hawiti Parapara, one man to beat, puts the ball to boot, into in goal. Hawiti Parapara, will he get there? And the ball is just knocked dead by the Manawatu defender. Advantage was being played by the referee, but the advantage was well taken by Hawiti Parapara. He came down a gaping hole on the right wing blind side and kicked the ball over the last defender, who scrambled back and managed to touch the ball down in goal for Manawatu, so he'll come out for a 22. But good endeavour by Hawiti Parapara, and as mentioned, he's got lots of skills, this young player, and we'll see more of that as the afternoon wears on here at Arena Manawatu. Play's restarted now though. Dropout is taken up towards the 10-metre line, where it's taken by number 14, Wille Fine from the Petone Rugby Club. He dances and weaves his way up from the 10-metre line to the halfway line. Hawiti Parapara weighs up his options and brings it out on the urban side to Fox. Fox hands off to one of the bigger forwards, who manages to make the halfway line and the advantage line. Still going over the 10-metre line. They go Wellington, the number 8. Brown, I think, here comes the first try of the afternoon. It's going to be scored, it looks like, by Lester Malolo, the second 5'8" for Wellington. A fantastic bust up the middle from the 10-metre mark through to the 22 by the Wellington forwards, and then the ball handed off to the dynamic number 12, Lester Malolo for Wellington, and the first try is scored under the posts for Wellington. The score's 5 points to 0. So Manawatu will be a little bit stung by that. They've been playing well and with the territory for the early part of the game, but just starting to fall off a few tackles. It was either number 6 for Wellington, Nessie Solia, or number 8, Josh Brown. In fact, I think it might have been the blindside flanker, Solia, who was the man who carried the ball from the 10-metre mark up to the 22-metre line, brushed off 3 or 4 tackles, and now Sam Fox adds the extra 2. And after 10 minutes of play in the first 35, it's Wellington who have gone out to a 7-point-0 lead. Lester Malolo from Petone, he scores the first try. The conversion taken by Sam Fox. So Manawatu now have to regroup and have a think about what went wrong in that last phase of play. They are playing with the benefit of the conditions early on in this match. And so it's all about territory. One would have thought they want to get the ball deep into Wellington's 22 and do their best to try and keep it down there. Wellington have had really only 2 touches of the ball so far. In the first touch, it was Hawiti Parapara a few moments ago, who made a good dashing break down the right wing side and just about scored. But now McNeil is going to restart play, and he does exactly as I suggested. He puts the ball deep down towards the left winger, Lossi Filippo, also from the Patoni Rugby Club. He carries the ball up towards the 22, and Hawiti Parapara gives it back out where it's now taken into the midfield, and might be Saloa again who's got the ball. Hawiti Parapara shifts the ball out. Out it comes on the open side for Wellington as they move up over the 22-metre line, up towards the 10-metre line. Number 4 for Wellington, Jeremiah Schuster, makes a good burst over the 22, but now it's Hawiti Parapara who's forced the box kick down towards the 10-metre line inside Manawatu territory. Singh fields the ball and he finds support with Harris Williams, who goes for a good dash up towards the 10-metre line inside Wellington territory. Taken in the tackle though. Hathaway reaches in for the ball. The ball's put to boot by Singh, but it's an untidy kick. It might have been offside play, but referee says play on. Wellington managed to field, and it's Filippo, Lossi Filippo down the left wing. But the ball was knocked on. Filippo was going to streak off and score a try, but the ball was knocked on before it came to him, it would appear, and the scrum is going to be set favourably for Manawatu, about 25 metres out from the Wellington goal line, 15 metres in from the far side touchline. A short break in play as Sam Fox has an injury attended to, it looks like. Might be something to do with his hand, not 100% sure. Important for a first 5/8, that's for sure. The Central Region Shield is what this match is all about. As mentioned, it is currently held by Wellington, who are leading this match by 7 points to 0. It was donated by Hawke's Bay rugby legend Peter Looms, who died in 2014. Looms coached 13 Hurricanes teams at the under 16 and under 18 age group levels to championship titles before becoming a Hurricanes age group selector. He was also a member of the Hawke's Bay Rugby Referees Association, and as mentioned, we have a Hawke's Bay referee looking after the match for us today. Wellington's held the shield for the past 2 seasons, but Manawatu have come into this game as favourites, certainly as top seeds for this final fixture. Currently they trail by 7 points playing with the wind, but now they've got an attacking scrum 25 metres out from Wellington's goal line, 15 metres in from the far side touchline. It's number 9 Matt Hathaway who will feed the ball. Another good shunt by Wellington. The ball's untidy there for Hathaway. Can he get his hands on it? And do they concede a penalty? So that's Manawatu concede a penalty. So some of that power we've been talking about in that front row of Paongo, Power and Fido is coming to bear, it looks like, in terms of the scrum. And so James Jenkins, Chris Cairns and Sam Tafunga have got their work cut out for them. The penalty kick is taken by Wellington and kicked into touch 10 metres inside their own territory. They call for the shortened line out, 6 in it. The ball is thrown in, untidy though, and off the back of the line out. And it looks like Power's been forced to go back. He does the Sonny Bill pass out the back door, taken though by the midfield of Wellington, and now dropped cold on the 10-metre line. Advantage called for Manawatu. And so Wellington playing with a little bit more possession now relative to the start of the game, but the possession they've got, they're not necessarily making full use of. Just an unforced error there. I didn't get the ball carrier's number, but the ball just dropped cold by Wellington, just short of the 10-metre line inside their own territory. So this is a perfect attacking opportunity now for Manawatu. And judging by their reputation, this is the exact opportunity the young Turbos will be looking for to demonstrate what they can do and perhaps level the score 7 points all. The scrum is set just inside the 10-metre line. They're going to go down the short side. In fact, it's a bit of a decoy. The ball comes out for McNeil into number 13, Kevin Black. In fact, now off they go. Will Harris to score the try, and in fact, it's number 7, Liam Giltrap. He scores the try for Manawatu. And as I suggested, Manawatu have demonstrated that they've got what it takes with the limited position they've had over the past few moments. It was a nice little dummy by the halfback, Matt Hathaway, around the opposite side of the scrum on the 10-metre line inside Wellington territory. The ball came out on McNeil's side. It was picked up by Cameron Black, and then Harris Williams, the left winger, was in support. Williams took a good dash up towards the line and then found Liam Giltrap, the open side flanker, in support from Old Boys Marist, and he dotted down unopposed very nearly under the posts, and suddenly it's 7 points to 5. That's what we like to see. Manawatu making a good statement and coming back strongly. Arjun Singh now converts the extra 2 points, and from what was looking like starting to be a little bit more of a dominant Wellington performance, the score's been peaked back at 7 points all. Well, as mentioned here at Palmerston North, there is a little bit of a southerly breeze blowing, and I've no doubt that that's going to play a part in the second 35 minutes as well. It really is a case of the team playing with the wind, kicking for territory, and then working the ball from there. And Manawatu, just feeding off a couple of Wellington errors in the past couple of phases, have cashed in big time and scored a converted try. Fox restarts play, kicks the ball midway between the 10 metre and 22 metre line. Nobody from Manawatu wants to touch the ball, and so it bounces into touch. That's untidy play. They will get the line out throw though, will Manawatu, and it will be Chris Cairns. He's a big fella, and he's going to have his first throw of the afternoon, the first Manawatu throw-in. Puts the ball to the middle of the line out, where it's taken by number 4, Rhodes Featherston. Another St. Pat's Wellington old boy. The rolling ball gets going. Good rolling ball too from Manawatu. Now Hathaway calls for the ball, gives it out to McNeil. He puts it out to number 12, Black it looks like, and he puts a nice cross kick in deep between the 10 metre and 22 metre line into touch. That was a good dividend for Manawatu. A nice set play from the line out. The ball kicked a good 30 metres and putting the green and whites back onto attack inside Wellington territory. There'll be a Wellington throw to the line out, but good territorial nous there by Manawatu. They understand the importance of getting in the right half of the field for this first 35 minutes. 7 points all. Tries scored to Maulolo and Giltrap, converted by Fox and number 15, Arjun Singh. The ball goes into the line out, it's untidy again, but Hawiti Parapara manages to swing it round to Fox. He looks into the midfield and finds Malolo. Malolo puts a terrible pass in, which bounces to the ground, but it's picked up nonetheless by Wellington, and they go up towards the 10 metre line. Now looking to recycle the ball quickly. Malolo again on the outside finds Willie Fine. Fine passes inside, finds number 7 John Tuia, very close to the line though, just inside Manawatu territory. Hawiti Parapara again recycles the ball, but a little knock on. It might have been from John Tuia. Dare I say it, another St. Pat's old boy. There's a few of them on the park in both teams today in the Central Region Shield final match. And so Wellington running the ball out from inside their 22 metre line and doing it relatively easily too, it might be said. But just a little knock on again. The knock ons are proving costly in terms of possession. It might be about territory for Manawatu in the first part of this game, but it's certainly about possession for Wellington when they get it, and they're turning it over too easily at the moment. It's Matt Hathaway, Massey University. He's the little halfback. Well, he's not that little actually, but he's the halfback this afternoon for Manawatu. He's going to feed the scrum. Wellington put the heat on again, but it's a good tidy scrum. Harris gives a forward pass off to the player coming in on the cut, which might have been Black, was it? It was number 12, Cameron Black. An unforced error there by the left winger for Manawatu. In fact, he didn't need to pass it. He should have just held on to the ball and had a crack, actually, having seen that the receiving player was in front of him. However, he'll learn from that, the boy in the orange boots this afternoon, and we won't see a repeat, I'm sure, for the rest of this match. So the scrum now is Wellington's ball midway between the 10 metre and halfway line inside Manawatu territory. Hawiti Parapara. He's had some good scrum feeding practice this afternoon already. Nice steady scrum from the Yellow and Blacks. Comes on the short side to Willie Fine. He's scored plenty of tries in senior Premier Club Rugby in Wellington, but he's taken in the tackle. Hawiti Parapara reaches in for the ball again, gives it out to Fox. Waiting for it is number 3, Alex Fido, the Wellington Lion. He passes off and the ball's carried up towards the 22 metre line inside Manawatu territory. Hawiti Parapara again gives it out to Fox, gives it out to Malolo. Malolo takes a step and manages to make a metre before being taken in the tackle. Though the Manawatu players are over the ball, they're going to have a turnover there. Very good turnover, and Hathaway bangs the ball down the field, past the 10 metre line, just about down to the 22. Filippo looks like he's knocked it on, but the referee says play on. No, he did knock it on too. That's untidy play by number 11, the left winger, Lossi Filippo. The ball bounced up and he just put his fingers on it and bounced forward before he regathered again, but very good work by the Manawatu forwards. They're on their own 22 metre line. It was Wellington ball and taken into the tackle, but the loose forwards for Manawatu got over it quickly and allowed the halfback Hathaway to put the clearing kick over deep down into Wellington territory. And now Manawatu rewarded with another attacking scrum 25 metres out from the Wellington goal line. 7 points to all is the score after 20 minutes of play. We're over the halfway point of the first 35. Central Region Shield final being played live and exclusive on Te Apoko Ika Radio. The ball comes out into the midfield. We're waiting for number 13, the captain, Waita Tufunga for Manawatu. He struggles and he fights his way to the ground. Wellington want to hold him up, but he manages to get the ball clear. Out it comes from Hathaway. Hathaway finds support on the left wing side by number 10, McNeil. He makes good distance down too towards the goal line and throws the ball in quickly, but the referee hadn't quite realised that it was McNeil who took the ball into touch. So a little bit of confusion, but they come back from the line out now. It will be a Wellington ball 7 metres out from their own goal line, and again Ben Power to throw to the line. Short line out called by Wellington, and it's taken by number 4, Jeremiah Schuster. Out it comes into the midfield where the loose forwards are waiting. They run it out from the 5 metre line up towards the 22 to Wellington, and Manawatu concede a penalty. Not rolling away from the tackle, it looks like, is the signal from referee Cottrell. And so a relieving kick now for Sam Fox, remembering that Wellington are playing into a reasonably stiff southerly breeze here at CET Arena in Palmerston North. As mentioned, this commentary being brought to you live and exclusive on Te Apoko Te Ika Radio, 11:61 AM, also available on tunein.com or irarangi.net. Wherever you're listening to this commentary, we hope you're enjoying it. It's 7 points all, and Manawatu earned the free kick from the line out. It's taken quickly by Hathaway. Hathaway looks for support, finds it on the 22 metre line. The Green forwards, they're a little slow getting to the ball, and as a result they kill the ball by hanging on in the tackle, and that's unfortunate. So it was a good thought by Hathaway to get the momentum of the game up, but nobody else was on the same radio station as he was when he took off towards the 22 metre line, meaning that when he got tackled he was isolated, and the turnover penalty was awarded. So Fox kicks for touch and he finds it just on the halfway line, just inside Manawatu territory. In fact, the assistant referee carries the ball 5 metres inside Manawatu territory. It'll be Wellington ball. Schuster's been the money man in the line out for the Young Lions this afternoon so far. Again, they call for the shortened line out, and again it goes high, but it's untidy, and now Manawatu have got a chance to win it. In fact, it's Giltrap, the try scorer, who manages to get his hands on the ball, but Wellington eventually do enough to recycle it, and it's Sitivini Piongo who gets his first carry of the afternoon. Now it comes out to Fox. Fox finds Fine. Fine looks for support in the form of Power, but he's taken into the tackle, and so now Hawiti Parapara recycles the ball out to Fox once more. Fox looks out and finds the captain Brown. Out it goes wider to Wellington now as they look to set up an attacking play. Over the 10 metre line they go, 12 metres inside Manawatu territory. Advantage called by referee Tiffany Cottrell in favour of Wellington. Awiti Parapara out to Fox. Fox looks for support, finds it in Solia. Solia carries up towards the 22 metre line before being bundled over by the Manawatu defence. Good defence by both teams, but the penalty has been conceded on the far side. Again, not rolling away from the tackle, looks like the signal from referee Tiffany Cottrell, and so a relieving penalty for Wellington this afternoon. 7 points all is the scoreline. 1 try apiece converted by both teams. A good close game. We like this, and that's the billing we had for this match coming into it. Both of these teams having 2 convincing wins in the round robin play. Both teams defeating the Hurricanes Barbarians. In the case of the Wellington team, 76 points to 5 and 91 points to 5 in the case of Manawatu. The ball comes up to Schuster again in the line out. They're inside the 22 metre line and get the rolling ball going to Wellington, making good progress now, and Manawatu struggling a little bit at how to combat the rolling ball. Perhaps they haven't come up against too much of it so far this season. 5 metres out, the advantage is called by referee Cottrell. Danger time now for Manawatu. Wellington are going to keep the ball tight and go for the line. Round the side they go up towards the line. Has the try been scored? And the referee says no. The ball must have been held up, and so we're going to come back for a penalty. It must have been offside play, the Manawatu defence at the maul. And now the referee is going to have a talk to the captain, Ueta Tufunga, to say, listen, you're going to have to sort out what you're doing at this phase of play. If you get into an offside position, I'm sure the message is you'll be sent to the sideline. So Wellington now, the second penalty in as many minutes, 10 metres out from the Manawatu goal line, decide to kick for touch, 15 metres in from the far side touch line. Arena Manawatu looking in good condition, a couple of dark green spots on the field, which Ben Cook tells me arise from replanting as a result of stock cars catching fire on the field. For those listeners that are not aware, there's a stock car track that goes around the outside of the main ground here in Palmerston North, but the occasional accident, obviously the vehicles are wheeled into the middle of the park and need to be dealt to, and so yes, there's obviously been a couple of fires over the course of the stock car season. Nonetheless, the ground is in very good condition, and it's 5 metres out now. Wellington, Schuster in the line out, takes the ball high. They get the rolling ball going again because it's working well for them. Do Wellington. They go up towards the line, 4 metres. Manawatu defence a little more organised now. Now comes out Hawiti Parapara. Hawiti Parapara to Fox. He goes straight for the line, held up 1 metre short, just short of the posts. In the support goes the number 15 for Isi for Wellington. There's a big bundle of bodies all over the ball there, and the referee's going to have to make a decision about something. And I suspect it's going to be a 5 metre scrum to Wellington, and in fact that is the call. So we'll say that the ball either became unplayable or was held up over the line, one of the two, just on the left hand upright. Wellington again showing good dominance in the set piece maul play, and they've used it to good effect. Manawatu struggling with how to combat it a little, but did better on that second occasion, certainly enough just to thwart the point of attack and force Wellington to pull up short of the line. But now they've got a good attacking scrum, and the backs are spread left and right. On the big open side is Fawa Isi, number 13 Levi Harmon, and then Willie Fine. On the short side we have Fox, Maulolo and Filippo for Wellington. But it's Hawiti Parapara who has the ball now, and the forwards get to work and put in a good shunt on the scrum. They might go for the push over here, but no, Hawiti Parapara is going to call for the ball off the back, although the number 8 doesn't want to let it go, Josh Brown. Now it comes out, and advantage is called to get up towards the line. Go Wellington, up to the line, and a try is awarded by referee Timothy Cockrell. We will get the try scorer for you in a minute. He's just giving the high fives. I can see him as he turns his back to us. We'll be able to confirm as he jogs up over the 22 metre line. Good forward play by Wellington, and just rewards for a period of dominance inside the Manawatu 22. Takes the score out to 12 points to 7 with the conversion kick to come. As mentioned, we've got our eye on the try scorer. We don't have his number just yet. Maybe in a second or two when he's had a drink. And so it's Fox who's going to take the conversion kick, more or less from out in front of the post. Should be a regulation standard kick for young Sam Fox. He's had one already this afternoon, successfully converted. The try of that was scored earlier, and the second conversion is also successful for Wellington. Still trying to get the number of the try scorer for you, and will do in just a second. McNeil, of course, is coming forward now to restart play for Manawatu. But 14 points to 7 now is the score. Wellington over Manawatu in the Central Region Shield Final, being played live and exclusive on Te Opoko Te Ika Radio, 1161 AM. Number 8 it was the captain Josh Brown who scored for Wellington. So well done to Brown, and Fox again with the conversion. Play restarts with McNeil. He kicks down deep inside the 22 for Wellington. The ball is fielded there by, looks like, Maulolo. He carries up over the 22 metre line. Advantage called again by referee Cottrell. Now there's a chance to set something up for Wellington, and they make a dash up towards the 22 metre line. Hawiti Parapara is there straight away. He finds support with Fine now down the right wing side. Willie Fine, he brushes up one tackle, but he just puts a foot on the touch line. Otherwise it would have been Kenneth Fola Isse away for the third try of the afternoon. Just starting to fall off one or two tackles at Manawatu, and you know, with some of the quality of the players on the field, and let's be fair to both sides, they're going to have to make every first tackle count. And certainly when they get to the national tournament and the knockout rounds coming up next week, missed tackle can be the difference between success and failure on the national stage. So it was Willie Fine who danced into touch just with his right boots. The line out taken now for Manawatu by Featherston, and the referee wants the ball to be thrown in again. Wasn't happy with the first throw. And so the line-out's being formed midway between the halfway and 10-metre line inside Wellington territory. Ball goes in now, and Featherstone tries again, but is interfered with in the line-out. Number 7 for Wellington, John Tuia, goes round and tidies up the ball on the Wellington side of the ruck. Out it comes for Hawiti Parapara, who hands off, and Wellington go charging up towards the halfway line, but turn the ball over. Now it's McNeil. He scooped up the loose ball, dances over the 10-metre line. The Manawatu forwards get there. Now it comes out for the half-back Hathaway to try scoring now. Giltrap with the ball. Out it comes again for Hathaway to McNeil. He looks for options, but the Wellington defence is up far too flat and far too quickly, possibly offside, but they still make good yards up towards the 22-metre line. And yes, referee Cottrell agrees with me. All of the Wellington back line was offside on that occasion. And McNeil, when he had the ball, just really had no options in terms of what he could do. The only thing he could do was make a dash up towards the 22, and he actually delivered quite well in that regard. The score 14 points to 7 after 29.5 minutes. It's a good opportunity just to narrow the gap now for Manawatu. Ideally, one would suspect after the first 35 they'd like to have their noses in front in this match, but against the conditions, Wellington have shown the better attack, scoring 2 tries, one through a concerted forward drive close to the goal line. A very good try indeed. And I have to go back through my notes. I think it might have been, was it Filippo who scored the first try for Wellington? Ben Cook. Malolo it was who scored the first try for Wellington, number 12. So we've got tries scored by number 12 and number 8. The captain, Josh Brown, just scored a few moments ago. But now it's Arjun Singh who puts the ball up towards the post. And it's a lovely kick too. He's got a good reputation as a goal kicker for Massey University, and he has absolutely no trouble in narrowing the margin to 4 points after 30.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes to play in the first spell. It's Wellington 14, Manawatu 10 here at Arena Manawatu. So a good close game is what we were hoping for, and well, the hosts this afternoon will know that they've got a battle on their hands, that's for sure, as they face the second 35. At the present time, of course, it's the defending champions who are in front by 4 points, but a lot can change in as many minutes. The ball's fielded by Hathaway inside his 22 from the kickoff by Fox. Taken in a high tackle was the Manawatu player who received the ball from Hathaway, and so penalty awarded against Wellington. Discipline, of course, is another key part of the match, and for both sides, as they head up to the Jock Hobbs National Under-19 tournament, they're going to have to sort out these little things just to make sure they play the best possible game. The penalty kick's a good one. It's taken play into Wellington territory, 2 metres inside Wellington territory, and Chris Cairns from Old Bulls Marist will come up to the touchline to throw the ball to a shortened line-out called by Manawatu. Featherstone looks like he's the money man, and Burmeister, well, they're the two locks, of course, so you'd expect the ball to be going to them. They're standing in the middle of the short line-out. Cairns to throw the ball. Waits for a little bit of movement to subside. Does Chris Cairns, throws the ball high, and it's taken by Featherstone. He came around the front. He hasn't got a lot of bulk, but he's very wiry as Rhodes Featherstone. Hathaway puts the ball out now to McNeil. He spots a gap and goes. It closes quickly though. Good tackle by Nessie Solia. Hathaway again recycles the ball. Out it comes to the number 12, Cameron Black. Kicks through and finds the fullback, Kirit Foa Isse. He's taken on the 10-metre line inside Wellington territory. Hawiti Parapara recycles the ball to Fox. Fox looks for support and finds it on the 10-metre line. But again, the defence for Manawatu holds. Out it comes again for Wellington. And a good charge down the right wing side now made by Levi Harmon. Harmon looks for support. He finds it with Hawiti Parapara. Hawiti Parapara to go for the line. And try is scored for Wellington. That's the third try of the afternoon by the young halfback. It's not his third try, but the third try for the Wellington team, coming from a very good break down the right wing side by the young Poniki centre, Levi Harmon, who's moved to Wellington from Wairarapa College, where he played his secondary school rugby last season. Harmon just glided his way through down to the 22-metre line inside inside Manawatu territory, and then found support on the inside by Hawiti Parapara. And again, just mentioning that young man, he's got a lot of experience for his age, and he was in the right position to take the pass and then just make a straight sprint for the line and carry the score out now to 19 points to 10. It's Wellington over Manawatu with the kick to come. So Fox again with a chance now to see if he can add the extras, and a 21 points to 10 lead at half time will be very handy indeed, one would have thought, for the visitors to Manawatu. It's a lovely kick too into the breeze, but it just fades away from the right hand upright. Fox did the right thing, he put the ball up high and towards the left hand upright, but the wind just got hold of it and the conversion unsuccessful. So it's a 9-point ball game. It's Wellington with the advantage over Manawatu after 34 minutes. There's 1 minute of play left. We'll have a quick break at the studio and give the announcer a short break as well at half time. But with 1 minute to play, it's McNeil who makes his way back to the centre of the halfway line. Here on Te Opoko o Te Ika, 11:61 a.m. The kickoff's taken and it's down inside the 22 again. Filippo watches the ball bounce. He needs to take it on the full, but it doesn't matter. Filippo goes for a run up towards the halfway, the 10-metre line. He's not taking a tackle. It's missed again in terms of the tackle and then just pushed into touch shy of the 22-metre line. Well, Ben Cook, I know you're watching this game from a Manawatu point of view, but the defence is going to have to improve markedly as this game wears on. Filippo took the ball which bounced from the kickoff on his own 22-metre line, and he did the 22 to 22 left wing sprint, went all the way down, brushed off 3, 4, maybe 5 tackles, went into touch though, so the ball comes back for Manawatu with the line out. Untidy ball though, and looks like it was McNeil who's forced to go and tidy things up. Takes it into the heavy traffic, and Hathaway now looks for options on the short side, finds them. Now it comes down the short side, and untidy pass means that the ball is put down. Might have been by Worthmuller on the right wing side. But the referee has stopped play and in fact has called for half time here at Arena Manawatu after 35 minutes of play. It's 19 points to 10. Wellington over Manawatu in the Central Region Shield. Final tries scored for Wellington by Lester Maulolo, the captain, number 8 Josh Brown, and by Kamara Hawiti Parapara. For Manawatu, the try scored by Liam Giltrap. The extras for Manawatu, penalty and conversion, were scored off the boot of Arjun Singh, and for Wellington, the extras off the boot of number 10 Sam Fox. So we'll take a short break here at Arena Manawatu, and we'll be back with the second 35 minutes in just a few moments.
Have a drink, Gordon. Chris Boyd. He's right in front of you. Cheers.
How are you? All right? It's a bit warmer in here, mate.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What's your thoughts so far?
Thoughts so far? Wellington got better forward play. Manawatu, though, from the scraps they've had, have scored a good try in the first spell there, but struggling a bit now on the defence in particular. So, you know, just the big ball runners, the first up tackles. Yeah. Filippo, Fine, a bit more space, Malolo.
Bruce, who I spoke to last week, said he thought it would be a battle between the Manawatu forwards, who he expected to dominate, and the Wellington backs. But I certainly haven't seen Manawatu forwards dominating.
No, not at all. Not at all.
The line-out's got the wood on them, though.
The line-out's all right.
Yeah. Got a couple of good springy fellas there.
Yeah, light. Whereas Featherston's about 85 kilos.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's wiry, but he hasn't got any bulk.
And they're going to struggle at rolling more time now. They're going to contest
So wind's going this way, eh?
Yeah, yep. So actually, the number 10, McNeil, I think he's had the better game compared to Fox, just in terms of the respective roles. He's very good.
Bruce is pretty excited about one of the winners from...
that'll be Ben Worthmuller. He's when he catches the ball, he'll be the fastest on this track.
That's pretty
He's bloody quick.
Excuse me.
No worries.
So he's pretty sharp on Ben Worthmuller.
Yeah, g'day Adrian, how are you? Yeah, I'm back. I'm here. I'm all here. All good. Yeah, absolutely. You can hear me too, obviously. How's that coming across, all right? Oh. It's the quality of the commentary box. That'll be it. Yeah, it's 19 points to 10, not 35-10, 19-10. 19, yep, yep. No problem. No, there'll be less than 10 minutes, sort of thought.
10 minute half time.
Sorry?
10 minutes.
Yeah, it is sorry, it is a 10-minute half time, I've just been told. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds fine. I'll just listen here quietly. He was just saying, excellent quality sound coming through.
Yeah. It makes nice when you're out of the window, I suppose.
As I said, it's bloody hard work if you're just going non-stop.
Yeah, full noise. Two first up tackles have been...
Oh, that's the difference. I mean, for those outsides, these guys in Premier Rugby in Wellington, all of them, that group of 5, they've been scoring tries with gay abandon. So second half's going to be interesting.
Looking at our back line, our half-back plays Colts.
Oh, really?
10 plays senior rugby, 11 does, 12 does...
He's from Canterbury.
Wow, yeah, he's an origin player. He's from here, he's first year Canterbury Uni. Worthmore, a bit of senior A's, bit of B's, he's normally injured, and Arjun Singh plays B's, senior B's.
Really? He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's from St Paul's Collegiate.
Oh, really? Well, that, you know, again, that experience will probably count.
Absolutely. Most of our forwards play senior rugby. Dobson doesn't, Kitty doesn't, Featherston doesn't.
No. He's a good player, always was a good player.
Yeah.
The reason he never got to the first 15 is he was never big enough.
Too small.
Too small.
Yeah, he's a good kid. What a nice guy.
But it is interesting to see the number of St Pat's boys in these teams. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. Yeah.
Certainly we've got an array here because of all the uni students all over the place. Long time.
Too long, really, for this.
So 35 minutes.
Oh, I got to say, yeah. I mean, there can't be that much you've got to tell them.
Yeah, I mean, it's our guys. I know the coaches are like, well, we've done saying what we want to say by 5 minutes because that's what we used to.
I really hope the Barbarians beat Hawke's Bay. That'd be so good. That would just kind of be the icing on the cake.
That's what I was thinking we should teach Justin.
Yeah, see if we can find out. Well, the score update would be good actually, because I can mention it. Yeah, we'll do no sign of them just yet. I'll give you a yell once they start to come out. reggae.
Where's that radio station based in Wellington?
People?
That radio station based in Wellington.
Okay.
Who's that? Nice.
Cool.
Alright, mate.
What's happening here?
Gordon's doing some commentary again. You hear commentary as well as watching the final. Central Region, 1910 one. Now guys, just checking there.
Okay, mate. Whenever you're ready.
Three more games. So, am I supposed to finish it?
Are you there, Adrian?
I'm just going to see you.
Yep, ready to go.
So, I guess we do know.
Kia ora everybody, welcome back for the second half of the Central Region Shield final. It's being played at Arena Manawatu in Palmerston North this afternoon. And just as you've joined us for the first time this afternoon, we've seen a little bit of bright sunshine find its way across the field, which will be welcome to the players, of course, and not so much to the people in the grandstand, still under the shade, and a very cool southerly breeze blowing through again, looking out over the Tararua ranges, plenty of cloud and the odd shower scudding across the sky. But now it'll be Wellington who will be playing with the benefit of those conditions on their backs for the second 35 minutes. They lead this match 19 points to 10, and the referee from Hawke's Bay, Tiffany Cottrell, signals time on, and Fox restarts play, kicks a wobbly old kick down towards the 10-metre line, and it bounces into touch. Probably not the distance that Fox was looking for on that occasion. With this breeze, territory is very important, and Manawatu were able to use it to good effect in the first half, despite the fact they trailed by 9 points at the start of the second. First line out of the afternoon to Wellington. It's not straight though, and referee Cottrell will now call for the first scrum in the of the second half. In the first spell, we saw that the Wellington pack was starting to get a little bit of dominance over the slightly smaller but equally capable Manawatu pack, and they'll have a chance now just to reassert their voice, their position on the field with this first defensive scrum. Manawatu feed 12 metres inside Manawatu territory, 15 metres in from the far side touchline. No changes on the field that we can see so far, and it's Hathaway who fields the ball, comes out and finds McNeil. It was a wobbly old pass again. McNeil's forced to kick off his right boot, makes a lovely kick deep inside Wellington 22. Kenneth Foa Isi from Mara St. Pat's is there to field the ball. He puts the ball to his right boot and he just bangs it into touch, and that was a net win for Manawatu on that occasion. The line-out will form midway between the 10-metre line and halfway inside Wellington territory. In terms of the battle of the number 10s this afternoon, I'd have to say that the young College Old Boys 10, Tyler McNeil, has been showing the better game relative to Wellington's Sam Fox, but right now it's Chris Cairns who calls the shortened line-out for Manawatu. There are 4 men in it, and it's going to go to Burmeister, I think it is, and he puts the ball out into the back line now to McNeil. McNeil finds the centre, Cameron Black, taken in the tackle on the halfway line by Malolo. Advantage signalled by referee Cottrell, slowing the ball down, not rolling away from the tackle were Wellington. And so Manawatu now with the first chance. Maybe not to go for goal, 50 metres is a bit too far into the southerly breeze. And so it's McNeil who weighs up his options and decides to go for the stadium side touchline, and he makes good metres too, puts the ball into touch just inside the 22-metre line. Manawatu territory, good start by the young Turbos. They'll need to get on the front foot early in this match. Just before the end of the first half, they were starting to slip off tackles, and Wellington's very talented back division was starting to make metres almost unopposed. But right now they're hard on attack. Manawatu. Cairns throws the ball in, finds Featherston. He passes back inside and they try to get the rolling ball going, but it's brought to ground straight away by Wellington. In fact, it might have been turned over. No, the ball is still there for Manawatu, but it's a slow ball, and now they win the penalty to Wellington. They're just not getting numbers around the ball quickly enough, Manawatu there. And so a relieving penalty for Wellington. They're pretty happy about that. 18 metres out from their own goal line, and Sam Fox from the Ponaki Rugby Club in Wellington, formerly from Scots College. Before that, he came over to New Zealand from England, picked up at the Sanix tournament in Japan a couple of years earlier. He puts the ball into touch, but strangely only makes about 10 metres with the breeze behind him, and so the line-out will form 12 metres inside Wellington territory. It's still Manawatu who have the attacking territory, at least at this stage of the game. 2 minutes gone, 3 minutes gone in the second 35 minutes. Remember, these matches at the under-19 level are played for 35 minutes only. The ball's taken nicely in the line-out by number 7, John Tuia. Puts the ball into the back line now, where coming in on the cut was the try scorer, Josh Brown. Hawiti Parapara reaches in for the ball, finds Fox. Fox puts again another wobbly old pass out, but does enough to get it out to the centre, Levi Harmon, who goes for a run down the right wing side. But once again, Harmon is bundled into touch. So good defence by Manawatu, and they're going to have to do plenty of that and more in order to get their hands on the Central Region Shield this afternoon. Defence will be number one, but they're going to have to sharpen the attack too. They've scored one good try, but other than that, there hasn't been a lot from the young Turbos. The ball comes into the line-out again. It goes up to Featherston, and this time goes up for a little bit of a run by himself. He's taken the tackle on the 15-metre line, and the tackler failed to roll away again. In fact, interfered with in the line-out, says the referee Tiffany Cottrell, and so it's a penalty now to Wellington. We've seen 3 penalties in as many minutes, and it's banged into touch by McNeil down towards the 22-metre line, 23 metres out from Wellington's goal line. So Ben Cook will be impressed with this. It's a much better start, certainly in terms of the territory. The Manawatu team, by the way, is coached by Aaron Good, Reese Robertson and Greg Fleming, the Manawatu Academy manager. The line-out is formed just outside the 22 Manawatu ball. They've got numerous players out in the back division in a sporadic pattern. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Hathaway throws the ball into McNeil. McNeil looks for options. He finds them in the midfield, but it's untidy ball, and it's scooped up by Wellington. But they're all offside with Wellington. And so referee Cottrell brings Manawatu down to 15 metres out from the Wellington goal line. And I think the call must have been for offside based on the position the referee's gone to, but it almost looked like to be some signal relating to the line-out. But anyway, the net effect of that is that it's a kickable opportunity for Arjun Singh. He's kicked a conversion and a penalty this afternoon already for the young Turbos. And this penalty is around, he's taken the ball out actually just about to the 22, so 21 metres out, about 20 metres in from the far side touchline, so almost perpendicular to the left-hand upright. 3 points will narrow the margin to 6. It's currently 19 points to 10. Wellington over Manawatu. Arjun Singh, the right foot kicker from Massey University, plays in the B side for the university, puts the ball up to the posts, and it's a good kick too, a great kick for young Arjun Singh. He'll be very happy. He hasn't missed one this afternoon, and those 3 points are good reward for Manawatu, who have had the bulk of the territory, in fact all of the territory since the second half has got underway, and so the margin is now narrowed. I was going to say marrowed, that can't be true, narrowed to 6 points, 19 points to 13, Wellington over Manawatu. Sam Fox comes forward to restart playing for the Yellow and Blacks. This time he puts the ball up nice and high, just outside the 22-metre line inside Manawatu territory, and Featherston is there to scoop it up and tidy things up for the young Turbos. Out it comes to Hathaway to McNeil. McNeil has players in front of him before he makes the kick, but the referee says play on. It comes down to the Wellington 22. It just about bounces into touch, but Fox fields the ball and passes it infield to Fawa'isi. Fawa'isi finds a supporting player who carries up towards the 10-metre line inside Wellington territory. The maul's going now for Wellington, but Manawatu have done enough to staunch the point of the attack, and it's a turnover ball. So You might have heard in the first half that Manawatu are grappling a bit with combating the Wellington ball, and they've started the second half with a lot more purpose in that area. And one just suspects that the coach, Aaron Good, might have just been having a word to them and say, boys, you need to muscle up a little bit in that area of the play, and they've forced a good turnover. 10 metres inside Wellington territory, it's Manawatu ball, and the backs are split left and right on the short side. We've got the right winger, Ben Worth-Muller. He's reputed to be the fastest man on the field, but he hasn't seen the ball as yet this afternoon. He might off this set-piece play though, if the Manawatu scrum can hold. Probably Wellington has the edge in the forwards. Free kick called though, early shunt. Off goes Hathaway. He spots a gap, takes the free kick up towards the 22-metre line. He's isolated though, but well, there's enough there in terms of support. Now the ball comes out again for Manawatu. Their Wellington defence are onto them though, like rash, and it's very hard for them to make any headway. Hathaway again puts the ball out to McNeil. Again he spots a gap, steps off his left foot before being taken into the tackle. The ball's recycled slowly for Manawatu now, and the big loopy pass comes out where it's fielded by number 6, Massimo Kirikiri. He feeds the ball back to Hathaway, who decides to put the ball to boot, but it's deflected off a Wellington player. Untidy play, and the ball's won now by the try scorer, Josh Brown, the captain for Wellington. Wellington now with the ball, Hawiti Parapara passes it out to Fido. Fido likes to run with the ball. Fido up over the halfway line. He's a big unit, as we all know. Scored a try on debut for the Wellington Lions. It's still going, Alex Fido. Nobody wants to put him down on the 10-metre line. Out to Hawiti Parapara now. The ball now with Fa'isi, who stepped in the first receiver, Malolo, but it's an untidy pass, almost intercepted by Manawatu, and that player could have been scooting away for a try had he just been able to get his hand around the ball on the halfway line. Good play by both sides though, and the first real glimpse we've had of Alex Fido in open play. Listeners might recall we've seen him in action at schoolboy level as almost a dynamic loose forward, despite his bulk in carrying the ball forward. In senior rugby, of course, it's a little bit different, and he needs to do his core job first, which is today being the tight head prop for the Wellington scrum, but knocked on by Wellington is the ball, so the scrum is formed midway between the halfway and 10-metre line inside Manawatu territory. It's Matt Hathaway from Massey University, again will feed the scrum. Manawatu scrum's holding well, and that's a promising sign for them. There's a bit of disruption though with at the base of the scrum, but Manawatu do enough to keep hold of the ball, manage to recycle it well, and now go over the halfway line up towards the 10-metre line inside Wellington territory. The nice box kick through to Wille Fine, who has to chase back to his own goal line. Wille Fine with Rhodes Featherston on him, and was the ball carried back? It wasn't, and so Fine managed to get the ball down. But we've mentioned Rhodes Featherston. He's a wiry lock, 85 kgs. He just chased that box kick through, and had he been another metre faster, would have perhaps scored a try. Fine got to the ball first inside the Wellington in goal, forcing Wellington to come out for a 22 dropout restart. And so it's Fox now who just tries to settle things down, and he puts a big kick up towards the halfway line, fielded easily by Manawatu, who now look to reset play on the 10-metre line inside Wellington territory. They've got the maul going now, and it's Wellington's turn to defend. Hathaway sees trouble though and goes in to try and retrieve the ball, but can't do so and gets into an offside position. And a penalty awarded against Manawatu, taken quickly by Hawiti Parapara. Looks for support and finds it in the form of Schuster. Schuster goes for a charge up towards the 10-metre line, but now they turn over the ball, falling over the tackled player with Wellington. It looks like, well, holding on in the tackle, says referee Cottrell. So interestingly, in this second 35 minutes, there's been a change in demeanour from the referee. We've seen penalty after penalty. Probably the play hasn't changed that much, but certainly there's been more exercise being given to the whistle. Plenty of penalties called against both teams. Good kick into touch though, taken by McNeil for Manawatu. He's banged the ball deep into Wellington's 22. We've got a change coming on for Wellington now. It's Patterson Carter coming on, a player that I've never heard of before. Haven't seen him around. Interesting to find out where he's going to slot into the play. So we'll be able to tell you in a minute. Looks like he's come into the back division. I'm not sure, might be one of the forwards that has come off. But Patterson Carter now on the field for Wellington, taken in the line out by Burmester. It looks like for Manawatu. They get the rolling maul going now to Manawatu. carry up, but they turn the ball over, and that's unfortunate because it was a great attacking position. John Tuia it is that's off, so Carter goes into open side flank, and the ball comes back to Fox just outside the goal line. He puts a wobbly kick up towards the 10-metre line, and the right winger there, Ben Worthmuller, for Manawatu, for whatever reason, didn't want to go in and contest the ball. He let it roll into touch. He had an opportunity there to collect and maybe carry play forward. However, we won't question the strategy. We'll just go with the line out. It's Manawatu ball, 10 metres inside Wellington territory. Up it goes to Burmester. He finds Hathaway. Hathaway finds McNeil. McNeil puts the ball into the midfield to number 12, Cameron Black. Black looks on the outside, finds players. Now's a chance on the left wing side for Manawatu. Down towards the 22-metre line, but the ball spills out of the hands of Harris Williams. Good play, good enterprising play by Manawatu, though. They've scored plenty of tries through the course of this under-19 seeding tournament, and they showed glimpses of what they're capable there by putting the ball through the hands. Ueta Tufunga, the centre, the captain, he's a big, strong ball runner and carrier, did well. Ball falls on the Manawatu side from the line out now. It's untidy though, and was it knocked on? No, it wasn't. Knocked back, says the referee. So Manawatu maintained possession 25 metres out from Wellington's goal line. Now they're looking to open things up. The big pass is put onto the left wing side again, where I think it's Harris that's waiting. Up over the 22-metre line go Manawatu, 15 metres out. But it was a forward pass, was it? I'm just not sure of the signal. Looks like it was. And Ben Cook was that the left winger. Harris Williams, who went for a scoot down the left wing side there. It was indeed. So the pass to or from Harris was forward, and so Wellington get a let off there. But all of a sudden we've seen some spark come into the Manawatu attack. And you would have heard me mention at the start of the second 35 minutes that defence is going to be the first thing they need to work on, but then attack is going to win the game for them. And strangely enough, Wellington haven't really been out of their half, despite the fact that they're playing with the benefit of the breeze. It's often the case, though, isn't it, that in rugby the least expected outcome is the one that you get. The scrum, though, is with Wellington. Comes into Fine on the cut. Fine looks for options, but he was flat-footed when he took the ball, and so he's taken in a tackle just outside the 22. Out comes again to Fox for Wellington. Looks for support on the outside. Lotzi Filippo now, the left wing with the ball. Up towards the 10-metre line. Taken in the tackle. Good tackle, too, by number 14, Ben Worthmuller. Ball's recycled for Hawiti Parapara to Fox. Out it comes again into the midfield. We're waiting for it with Sitavini Paongo from the Tower Rugby Club. Hawiti Parapara looks for options, decides to go right to Fox. Fox puts the ball to boot. Kicks to nobody though. Waiting back there is Arjun Singh. He's got somebody bearing down on him on the right wing side, but he puts the ball to boot. It's a nice up and under too. Got good distance on it. Fox fields the ball just outside the 22. Hands off to Fa'aisi. Fa'aisi runs up to the 10-metre line inside Wellington territory before being taken in the tackle. Wellington can't get out of their own half at the moment. Fox again with the ball. He hands off to Fido. Fido says, I'll run it out, but he only makes it to the 10-metre line before he's tackled. Again, Hawiti Parapara to Malolo. Malolo to Fine. Fine taken in the tackle on the 10-metre line, Wellington territory. You can't score tries from there, Wellington, but they've still got the possession. Now's a chance on the right wing side for Wellington. Passes off to the substitute, and now it's off it goes Malolo. Malolo to the corner. Malolo's going to score the try. It's the fourth try of the afternoon and the second try of the afternoon to number 12, Lester Malolo from Petone. And well, what would a commentator know? That's all you can say. As soon as I said you can't score a try from there, that's exactly what Wellington did. And well done to Lester Malolo. He got the ball just on his own side of halfway and sprinted off down the right wing side to score in the right wing corner. Takes the score out to 24 points to 13. And one would only think that that probably is going to be enough of a margin for Wellington to carry this game. As mentioned, they haven't been out of their own half at all in terms of this second 35 minutes, other than the breakout play we just saw from number 12 from Petone, Lester Malolo, his second try of the afternoon, scored in the right-hand corner. And it's Fox now who has an opportunity to extend the lead by another 2 points, 25 points to 13. It's 24 points to 13 at the moment on the scoreboard. Ben Cook from Manawatu Rugby in charge of keeping the scoreboard ticking over today. Number 20 now on the field for Manawatu, Patohi third from Fielding Old Boys Club. The conversion is no good for number 10, Sam Fox, and so Patohi third has come on, and it looks like he's come on for Rhodes, Featherston. In fact, there's 2 players that are coming to the sideline, 3 that have come to the sideline, so there'll be 3 new players on there. We'll get the numbers for you in just a moment. No, in fact, it is only just the 1 player that has come off, and in fact, it's Chris Cairns, and Patohi third comes on for the hooker. Chris Cairns for Manawatu. So 24 points to 13 in the second spell here at Arena Manawatu. Wellington, the Central Region Shield champions from 2015, doing enough to defend their titles. The kickoff is made by McNeil. It comes down to Fox inside his 22. Unenforced error. Fox just drops the ball cold. Manawatu can swing on to attack quickly, maybe score another 5-pointer, but the referee, Tiffany Cottrell from Hawke's Bay, says no advantage to Manawatu, and so will come for the scrum. It's on the centre of the 22-metre line inside Wellington territory. And as mentioned, Manawatu have been hard on attack all of this half, and only 1 split second allowed Lester Malolo for Wellington to extend the lead and break out. And I guess that's all that Wellington needs to do. They can defend as well as they can, and if the opportunity presents, tries being scored. Here comes Hathaway now, feeding the scrum for Manawatu. It's a big scrum from Wellington though. Could be a tight head. No, he's done enough to keep hold of the ball, but it's messy ball. It's come back though for Hathaway, and the referee calls a penalty against Manawatu. They got themselves into an offside position. Hathaway was bobbling the ball around on the ground, and in fact it was Hathaway. Somebody got in front of him, and that was an offside play. And so 25 metres out now, Wellington have a relieving penalty. They'll kick for touch with Sam Fox. Any update on the score from the Barbarians match? No, there's another match being played in the under-19 division this afternoon, just across the way at Massey University, between the Hawke's Bay under-19s and the Hurricanes Barbarians. And I'm not sure what the score update there is, but here at Arena Manawatu it's 24 points to 13. Wellington over Manawatu. And the ball's thrown into the line-out by Wellington to Hoiti Parapara to Fox. Fox finds support with Josh Brown, the try scorer. He charges over the halfway line up towards the 10-metre line. Good work by the captain, leading by example. Hoiti Parapara again, hands off to Pongo. Pongo finds Fido. Fido looks on the left-hand side and finds number 18, Ben Umor Paseta. Need I say, another St. Pat's old boy. Off goes Fido again with the ball on the 22-metre line. Good work by Wellington now, building concerted pressure. Hoiti Parapara recycles the ball, and it comes from Fox. A big pass out to the centre, Malolo, the try scorer, the double try scorer. He makes ground without any difficulty whatsoever. In fact, Malolo at second 5, of course. Fox now with the ball. He looks for a gap and finds it. Takes the ball inside the 22. Wellington now starting to play with a little bit of dominance. Hoiti Parapara hands the ball off to number 5, Folo Finavia. Allows an advantage or creates an advantage. The ball comes out again on the right wing side for Wellington, but it's thrown into touch, and so we'll come back for a penalty 18 metres out from the Manawatu goal line. What will Wellington decide to do now? They've got a reasonable buffer on the scoreboard. It's 24 points to 13, and this is a very kickable opportunity. If it was me, I'd go for goal, and in fact I'm looking at the captain, Josh Brown, number 8. He points at the posts. I agree with him, he agrees with me. And so the kicking tee is brought out for number 10, Sam Fox, to see if he can score his first penalty goal of the afternoon. He's managed to convert 2 tries of the 4 scored to take the score out to 24 points for the junior Lions this afternoon. This will be his first attempted penalty. 18 metres out from the Manawatu goal line, more or less in front of the post, with the wind coming in over his right shoulder. Sunshine now in Palmerston North, which is very nice to see. Still a little cool here in our commentary position, it must be said, but that's okay. Plenty of action to keep us nice and warm as Fox puts the ball up to the posts and unsuccessful. So no change to the score, 24 points to 13. A bit of a let off there, but Wellington now just starting to build the phases, starting to build a lot of pressure, and it's making a bit of a difference too in terms of their territory. Now they're looking a little more interested just to build on those attacking plays, but it will be Tyler McNeil, the number 10 for Manawatu, who springs the ball out to the 22-metre line, takes the drop out and gets good distance to up towards the 10-metre line, where Fox again is in action. He catches the ball and looks for support, passes the ball to nobody. It's Filippo who has to go back, and he's bustled back towards his own 22 by the Manawatu defence. Wellington still with the ball though, and Hoiti Parapara looks out and finds Fox again. Passes the ball infield to number 5, Folo Finavia. Hawiti Parapara with the ball now, recycled from the back of the ruck, and Josh Brown goes for the third or fourth big run of the afternoon. He's playing with determination as the young number 8. And it comes again to Fox, and he looks at it's an intercept. Oh, and just a little knock on, but there was a chance there for Burmester, is it, who's now limping as a result of perhaps stretching a little bit too far to have scampered away for a try for Manawatu. Half-time in the Barbarians match was 32-0 to Hawke's Bay, 56-0 we think is the current progress score over at Massey University. The scrum is being formed midway between the 10-metre and halfway line here at Arena Manawatu. It's Wellington ball, and number 9 Kamara Hawiti Parapara, who's had been in dynamic form both for the Tawa Rugby Premier team in the Jubilee Cup in 2016. He's brought the same degree of experience and skill to the Wellington under-19s this afternoon. The ball goes into the scrum. Out it comes for Hawiti Parapara. He looks and finds a support on the inside for the replacement first 5/8 who's come on. I think it might be Alex Ropedi. But off goes Finavia again with the ball up towards the halfway line for Wellington. But they can see the penalty. Again, holding on to the ball in the tackle, and it's just a matter of making sure that you get to the ball carrier quickly. Otherwise, you are in the position where you're likely to concede the penalty, and that's what's happened against Wellington. So the ball's kicked at the touch, deep inside the 22, in fact, just outside the 22. I shouldn't exaggerate, in fact, just on the 22 is where the ball has gone into touch. It'll be Manawatu ball, and we have a replacement hooker on as well. Number 16, Simon Goss from Fielding Old Boys, will throw his first line out of the afternoon for the Junior Turbos. The ball goes up and high. It's untidy though from Goss. Falls on the Wellington side. Off go Wellington now, charging up towards the 10-metre line. Again, those first up tackles starting to fall away now for Manawatu. Off it goes again for the captain. It looks like Josh Brown. No, in fact, it's one of the other replacement players on. I'll get his number in a moment. Out it comes Wellington to Brown now. On the left side is Amor Peseta, number 16. In fact, it's Jimmy Hewitt from the Poniki Club. He passes out to number 23, Regan Sword, who's come on as halfback for Wellington. Out it comes again for Regan Sword. In fact, he's playing at first 5. Out to Malolo. Out the right wing side now. With the ball is Afoisi. He has Fine outside him. He's taken in the tackle. Still going. Wellington up towards the 5-metre line inside Manawatu, just outside the Manawatu goal line, but the ball's untidy. If they retain possession, it's a little hard to see from here. But Manawatu have successfully managed to scamper it away, but a poor kick for touch means that Wellington will come again with Lossi Filippo now. Filippo to the 22. Filippo breaks the line. Filippo scores the try. Lossi Filippo, St. Pat Silverstream, the Tony Rugby Football Club, Wellington under-19s try scorer this afternoon in the Central Region Shield final. Lossi Filippo didn't get a hand on him. He has been again one of those strong players in Wellington Premier Club Rugby for the Petone Rugby Club this year, and he's got a lot of promise. He's a big fellow, playing of course on the left wing today. Went in over the goal line untouched, close to the stadium touchline, about 5 metres in, but that takes the score out to 29 points to 13. And well, the Manawatu supporters might be feeling that the game's slipping away, or might have slipped away at this stage. There's certainly a lot of work to do if they're going to come back and reduce the deficit now. 29 points to 13 is the score, and it's Hawiti Parapara who has the kicking duties. It's Sam Fox who's gone off the field, and Regan Sword, who normally plays halfback for Mara St. Pat's, has gone into the number 10 position. Good kick by Hawiti Parapara. Excellent kick between the uprights. It goes another 2 points for Wellington, and the score all of a sudden, it's the inverse, 31 points to 13, Wellington over Manawatu. Well, it's quick. It's amazing sometimes how quickly a game can change, and in this particular game, a pretty close half-time margin has really ballooned out now for Manawatu, and as mentioned, they've had plenty of territory but just been unable to convert that into points as the second half is worn on. Wellington now field the ball from the kick-off and swing the ball in field. Lots of replacement players on now. Fido goes off for a charge. Fido doesn't want to be tackled again. He finds support with Malolo. Malolo shows excellent acrobatic skills. He kicks ahead, does Malolo. He's just running out of gas, otherwise he'll score. Manawatu managed to just defend the ball 5 metres out from their own goal line. Fantastic little chip kick by Malolo. The ball comes back for McNeil, who's forced to run the ball out from his own goal line up to the 5 metre line. Well, Wellington now just starting to play with a bit of dominance and across the park, but Manawatu have done enough to defend the ball. Out it comes to the half-back Hathaway, who makes a nice kick downfield. Ball goes into touch, taken quickly by Hawiti Parapara, 5 metres inside his own territory. Looks and finds Malolo. Malolo goes for a run by himself with Fine in support. Malolo breaks the first tackle, breaks the second tackle. He's going to score again. It's going to be a hat-trick of tries for number 12, is it, or number 13? It's the fullback, in fact. Number 15, Kerad Fawaisi for Wellington, dots down for his first try of the afternoon, and well, 36 points to 13. The floodgates have started to open a little bit now, and well, both teams have rung the changes in terms of the substitutes, but for Wellington, the changes haven't made any difference to the pace of the game that they're now playing, and the fresh legs probably have made a bit of a difference just in terms of the cut and thrust of their attack now. 36 points to 13, the try scored by the fullback, Kerad Fawaisi. It's Malolo who scored 2 tries, not the third. I was going to give him the third try. And the reward for Kerad Fawaisi after scoring the try is that he comes to the sideline, but that's okay. He'll remember the afternoon as being a successful one. It's high fives all around as Hawiti Parapara looks to add the extras and does so successfully. Another 2 points to Wellington. It's 38 points to 13. With how far have we played now? With another 7 minutes to play here at Arena Manawatu. This broadcast being brought to you live and exclusive and explosive in parts, I suppose, on Te Poko o Te Ike 1161 AM, also available on tunein.com. Wellington, the defending champions in the Central Region Shield in the under-19 competition, leading Manawatu 38 points to 13. Play is restarted by McNeil. He's had a good game, has the first 5 for Manawatu. Untidy take of the ball by Wellington. They're forced to scramble and carry the ball up over the 22 metre line, but do enough to retain possession. Now they go again down the short side, looking for Fine. Fine with the ball, brushes 1, brushes 2, taken in the third tackle on the halfway line. The Wellington right winger. The ball's untidy though and pushed down, taken down in foul play by one of the Manawatu players, knocked out of the hands of the Wellington ball carrier, and so penalty awarded now. A little bit of frustration perhaps creeping into the Manawatu play. Looking at the scoreboard, they know the game is gone at this stage. It's most unlikely that they're going to come back from this margin. Sword now kicks the ball into touch. He only makes 2 or 3 metres, but I don't think they mind too much to Wellington. The winner of this match will play Otago in the first round of the Jock Hobbs National Under-19 Memorial Tournament in Taupo on Thursday next week. The loser will play Canterbury, and Canterbury, as listeners will be aware, are the defending champions in the Under-19 division, and so the runners-up to this match won't want to face Canterbury in their first round. It'll be a tough battle, that's for sure. At this stage, at least, it looks like Wellington will have the easier rub of the green coming up against Otago, who have done well to make it through to the top 8 of the National Under-19 tournament. That kicks off in Taupo next Thursday with games on Thursday, Sunday and Wednesday, I think, are the 3 game days. But the scrum now is with Manawatu, and they do enough to keep the ball. Comes out into the midfield, nice wrap around. Manawatu, off goes the number 10, is it McNeil. He's done a fantastic job too with the wrap around, runs the ball up towards the 22 metre line inside Wellington territory. Now a good chance for Manawatu to launch onto attack. Number 5, Burmester, carries up towards the 22, but is taken in the tackle. Wellington's defence has been pretty good through the course of this afternoon. Penalty advantage now though to Manawatu, and so McNeil, as it puts the ball to boot and finds Wellington, but the penalty advantage is going to come back now for Manawatu. Wellington not rolling away in the tackle, and the penalties awarded. 25 metres out, taken quickly by the half-back Hathaway. Looks for McNeil, puts a little chip kick through. It's a chase to the line. Who's going to get there first? It's Filippo. Filippo touches the ball down and will come out for a dropout 22. As I mentioned, this young 10 for Manawatu, he's been one of the players of the day for me in terms of this match. He's driven the Manawatu team around with good direction and good strategy and good vision, and has taken the chances that have come Manawatu's way, but really probably, I'm sure Ben Cook will agree with me, it's been defence for Manawatu which has been the weak point of the match, and falling off those first up tackles has really cost Manawatu in many phases of the game, and they'll be a little disappointed. But now they're 5 metres out with an attacking line out. Let's see what they can do. An attacking maul with it's an untidy throw, falls on the Wellington side, and so no let up for Manawatu, and they'll be disappointed with that, will the coaches. I'm sure they haven't practiced that, and the scrum now will come to Wellington. It was knocked forward by Manawatu in the line out. The throw wasn't straight from what it looked like here, and so we'll come 15 metres in from the stadium touch line, 5 metres out from Wellington's goal line, with another 2.5 minutes to play here at Arena Manawatu, 38 points to 13 on Te Opoko o Te Ika, 11:61 a.m. We hope you're enjoying this commentary of the Central Region Shield final. It's the Hurricanes under-19 competition. Wellington are going to be crowned the champions for 2016. They are the defending champions. Free kick, though, awarded against Wellington. Early push again in the scrum. That can happen if you have dominance. Hathaway now charges for the line. The half back up towards the line for Manawatu. He's held up, though, just short of the line. And the referee says play on for the moment, and so we've got a maul going, but it's going to be a turnover. So Hathaway decided to have a dash by himself. He made it to the chalk. It was held up by Wellington. Manawatu got enough forwards around Hathaway to secure the maul, but Hathaway was just unable to release the ball. He was tied up right in the middle of that, the little half back, and now they concede a penalty for something. Back chat it was. Again, frustration just creeping into the game of the young Turbos this afternoon. They've scored 13 points, but not enough to continue the momentum from their early games this season. But they've done enough to make their way through to the top shelf, the top flight of the National Under-19 tournament next week at Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. Wellington, though, will go in top dogs, top seeds from the Hurricanes region. And it's Jimmy Hewitt who's going to throw to the line-out. I coached Jimmy Hewitt when he was a 12-year-old for the Western Suburbs Rugby Club. It's great to see him come through into the Wellington Under-19s. Young Poniki player with promise. The ball comes out for Hawiti Parapara. Looks on the inside and finds support for Wellington as they run it out from their own 22-metre line. Most of the reserves are on the field now, 38 points to 13. Slow ball, though. The defence is holding for Manawatu. Up goes Finau Vea for Wellington. He carries the ball up over the 22-metre line, but they concede a penalty. Again, holding the ball in the tackle. It's a common infringement, something for the Wellington coaches of Isaac Fuanati, Darren Larson and Jamie Williams to have a think about as they approach the national tournament from here. Isaac Fuanate, as you might recall, played 22 games for Wellington 1994 to 97, played for the Crusaders and for Samoa in the 1999 World Cup, played for Bath in the Guinness Premiership, and also famously played John Olomu in Invictus, the movie. Isaac Fuanate, currently Director of Rugby at Old Boys University. It's a 5-metre line out to Manawatu, though. They throw long to the back, and again it's untidy throw, and it's not straight. And so the referee calls full-time at Arena Manawatu, and the Central Region Shield